And welcome once again to Muscle Sport TV. We are going to be joined by the subject of our brand new issues cover, Miss Kat Secor, IFBB Women's Physique Pro and Super League Pro. She's going to tell us all about how she got involved with Super League, what she was doing before that, and is there going to be a problem when she wants to get back on the IFBB stage because of Super League? We will see all that and more in just a second when we come back after this quick break with Kat Secor.
Hey, how you doing? This is West Coast Johnny Fit at the LA Fit Expo 2018, and you're watching Muscle Sport TV.
Let's be honest. Most of us are finding our gear from Johnny in the back of the fucking gym over there. You want one of these. The Royd test. You want to make sure it's not bunk, not weak crap. This is their advanced field kit. Just got it sent to me. William Llewellyn, he of the Anabolics books. So this guy knows his shit. Here's the Royd test. Comes in a nice case here. Look at that. It's even got a fucking battery. Look at that. Oof. All different tests you can do on all your different gears. All right, now here's your tester. So check it out. Highly accurate, versatile, fast, easy to read, and step-by-step instructions. More than 20 different steroids this is going to check. Oils, tablets, capsules, and even raw powder. Specific color reactions, provide all the confirmation, and it has a whole booklet in here. You can get all your stuff, boldenone, testosterone, all this stuff, everything you want to know. Guys over at roydtest.com, advanced field kit. Get it and make sure you're not getting fucked. We want to welcome right now to Muscle Sport TV from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kat Secor, IFBB Women's Physique Pro and Super League competitor, winning champion, I should say, in the Super League, Kat. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Yeah, don't be shy. That's it. That's something to be proud of. So, you won the event that was during Las Vegas, Super League 2, I guess that was, right?
And I was in the middleweight category, so it was between 141 and 150-pound weigh-ins. So it was a pretty competitive category of women.
What was your body weight at that time when you weighed in for that?
I weighed in at 150 on the dot.
Wow.
And the day before I was 160, so I had to do a gnarly water cut to make weight.
That's pretty cool. And, Super League, obviously, it's a new thing now. They had the thing going in Montreal. Jay told me Johnny Johnson is opening the one in Texas.
Wow.
So it's growing. It's going to be an international, it's going to be virtual. That's the goal, what Jay was telling me. So I think it's got a lot of legs, this Super League.
Yeah, exactly. So we're, in a sense, democratizing fitness, making it so fitness competition. So making it, the goal is that anyone with a barbell, dumbbells, and basic equipment could compete virtually against someone else in a completely different location around the world. That's the end goal. Yeah. And actually, on a off subject, Jay and the team just launched Power Series this past weekend, which is a parallel strength league. And it's just like powerlifting, but you have a 3-rep max that you have to establish in a 12-minute period, and then instantly on to the next movement. So squat, bench, deadlift. Mm-hmm. Now, this was neat because, for example, I competed in Las Vegas. There were people in Phoenix. There were people in the UK. There were people all across the country that competed in real time. Scores were posted in real time. So it was virtual competition.
That's amazing. I mean, especially you say that, and in Europe. I mean, it's cool enough when you have different states, over here. But if you got international competitors going simultaneously, I mean, to me that is just so fucking cool. So I mean, when I interviewed Jay about this a couple of months ago, just like you said, that was the end goal. It looks like it's starting to become a reality. So hopefully, because would they using this for this new event, kind of like almost like as a beta, like a test to see if they can pull it off for Super League?
Yeah, we didn't publicize it or open it up to the public. It was kind of like select athletes were just seeing if they were interested and would be the beta testers.
Okay.
And it was so successful, and we had so many people reach out being like, wait, how come we didn't get invited? Like, we want to be involved. This looks so cool. We can do it right here in our local gym. We don't have to travel. We don't have to pay hotel expenses. So really cool.
That's what when Jay and I were interviewing in Vegas at Super League 2 Olympia weekend, he was saying that you cut down on the travel expenses, you can open the doors to so many more competitors, especially guys. Australia, they don't have to worry about flying to the U.S. or U.S. guys flying if they're being held in the other countries. So bravo to you guys that were part of that. That's pretty cool. This is the first I'm hearing it at, actually. So you know, that's pretty cool. Like what we discussed before we started rolling, you mentioned it, and I'm kind of excited about that because that kind of breeds along with how Super League, the long-term vision is for that. So it looks like that's going to be a reality. It's not a fantasy at all. And how did you do at this competition?
I won my weight class, and I believe I won the overall for the women as well.
You're just
and I ranked,
winning.
I think I ranked 7th or 8th out of all the athletes, including the men. So
wow. Wow, holy shit. You're a winner. You're like the Donald Trump. You're going to get so tired of winning, right?
I like to test failure and see where my weaknesses are, and so I can improve. So I'm constantly open to trying new things and seeing where I am in the playing field at my current status and where I can improve to make myself better, inspire others, get more people involved, and have them start developing like a cool mindset around failure and competition and how it empowers you.
Yeah, definitely. So you wear many hats. So not only are you a Super League and then also a women's physique competitor, but now a power lifter as well. So I mean, even though Super League does have some powerlifting type of qualities to it, of course, but it's different that you're really able to you have a very big hybrid type of capability of you as an athlete. Growing up, were you a sports person at all?
Never traditional sports. I did horseback riding, and then my big sport prior to bodybuilding was paintball. I traveled all around the world playing competitive paintball with an all-female team. Really?
Wow. That's funny because when I worked for a print sports magazine, they had a sister publication that was Paintball Sports Mag was the name of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you knew it because it was like one of the biggest things in that. I didn't know anything about the industry, but their office, we all were in the same office. Their wing was next to ours, and Paintball Sports Mag was like, they kept adding pages and we kept cutting pages. I'm like, wait, something's wrong here. I want the pages, I need more editorial room. But so that's cool, man. So I was kind of exposed to it just from being in the office environment and talking to these guys and watching them lay out the magazines, and and I would read some of them. They were laying around the office. So that's pretty cool though. So you're familiar with that mag. I think it's gone under since then.
Yeah.
But back then, this was like...
kind of tanked a little bit.
Yeah. This was 06, 07, 08, and 09, that time frame.
Like right when it was the bubble was about to burst.
Yeah. But competitive paintball. I've played paintball with my son. He got into airsoft for a little while, too. He was going to these places out by us in Long Island, him and his friend. He had all the equipment, all the guns, and then, I don't know, a year later, they're collecting dust. He never looked at them, so...
And it's expensive to get into, paintball, just getting your setup, your gear, your gun.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy, $2-3 grand.
Oh, I know. I paid for it.
$500, like 500.
Yeah. So you have some that's athletic stuff going on. So then you got into bodybuilding.
Don't ask me to throw a ball.
Oh, okay.
I throw like a girl. Like, I'm a horrible baseball. I can't catch it and I can't hit it. Just keep me away from a football, a baseball,
really?
Any kind of traditional ball. Don't stay away from.
All right, but you were able to utilize and springboard that into bodybuilding, which women's physique will call it, for the lack of a better term. It is bodybuilding per se, as it is. So what got you into doing that?
So I was frustrated with the incongruence between men and women and being in a co-ed sport. So I started going to the gym and getting really into improving myself as an athlete so I could be a more competitive player. Because I wanted to go pro. If I'm in a sport, I'm all in and I want to take it as far as I can take it.
Okay.
And constantly push that limit of what the next quo is and where I can go. And so I got into bodybuilding just thinking, I'm going to do a bikini competition and just see what the diet's like. I placed dead last. And I did it again. I placed like dead last. And my feedback was just come in leaner, stop working your legs out. I'm like, oh, everything I'm enjoying, they're telling me not to do.
Yeah.
So I started working with a coach who said, let's just skip figure. Let's go right to women's physique. You don't have to wear heels. I'm like, oh, perfect. Let's do it. And competed in 2014 in Boston at the Cutler Classic. And I won first place in my first women's physique competition. And
awesome. I
think that night I went home and I said, Mom, I'm going pro. And the next 2 years I put my blinders on and I lived, ate, and breathed bodybuilding. And it was my obsession for that 2 years. Just, I'm going pro. I don't care how many times I fail. I don't care what stands in the way. It is happening.
How old were you at the time when you first started competing?
I was 24, 25.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm 29 now. I'm gonna maybe 23. It's 2024. Yeah, 24.
You're 29. I'm jealous.
I'm gonna be 30 in April. I'm like,
oh my God! Wow, it's over after that. Trust me. Just I got a few years on you, embarrassingly enough. So yeah, I'm being a little sarcastic, of course. No, that's a great age to get into the competition aspect of it because you're young enough, you can bounce back quick, and you kind of hit it at the right time. And you did very well as an NPC competitor, and then you got your pro card pretty fast. How was that like when you made that goal in your mind after that first show, when you did well, and then after the switch, and then not too long after that, you got the pro card? How did that go with everything?
It was incredible. I was always yo-yoing in placings at national. So my first national, I placed 4th. The next one, like 8th. The next one, 3rd. Like I missed it by 1 point, by 1 placing. And then the next one, 10th. Like I was constantly, depending on who my judges were and kind of like how my body looked, I was yo-yoing in placings, but I never let that deter me from knowing that it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, getting the right coaches, the right knowledge, and the right kind of commitment level from myself and fine-tuning all of it. So when I went pro in Miami 2005, stacked group of ladies. The top 3, we were all blondes. Stacia Woods beat me. She went on to win the overall women's physique. And Lauren Quinn got 3rd. She missed her pro card. Now she's a pro. But it was just, it made me look back at all of my prior competition nationally and say I was not ready at any of those shows. So I'm glad I didn't go pro. Because going pro at the time that I did, things had just all come together. My presentation, how I was dieting, the coaches I was working with. So when I went into my pro debut 2-3 months later at the Carina Nascimento Classic in February 2016, I placed 2nd at my pro debut, and that was mind-blowing to me.
Sure,
it was surreal, to say the least.
Hang on right there. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Kat Secor once again. And we're back here with Kat Secor again. Second place in your first pro foray onto that IFBB stage. So that had to be pretty cool. So how did it go after that then?
So after that, I'm like, oh, one place away from going to the Olympia. Because, you know, you go pro and then immediately you're like, all right, Olympia.
Of course. Why not?
Exactly. And I was friends with Joe from Joe of HD Physiques. And he's like, Kat, why don't you come to the St. Louis Pro? It's in a month. I'm like, perfect. Let's just ride right into it.
Yeah.
And there was just crazy competition, different judging. And I placed, I think, 10th a month later. So after that, I just realized, like, all right, I need to take a break. I was at a crossroads in my life where I needed to refocus on what I was going to do for a career and kind of pump the brakes on my passion of competing and say, all right, what do I need to do to step back and make sure I'm financially set up and stable to continue pursuing whatever passion I decide I want to later in my life. So I've taken a break since that show, and since then found Super League, found these different sports that are challenging me in different ways, but I still want to get back into bodybuilding at some point. I know it's not the last you'll see of me on the IFBB stage. Good. I hope.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're able to do Super League now. You have aspirations of competing again as a physique competitor. What made you go into Super League? Like obviously it was something brand new, so there was no pilot of it really. It was just you've been one of the earlier ones that started right away with that first test Super League, which was Super League 1, right?
Yeah, they just messaged me. It was Sue Farrell. She's the athlete director for Super League. She said on Instagram messaging, "Hey Kat, check this out. I think you'd be good at it. If you're curious, submit an athlete application." And I was one of the athletes that was selected to compete, and I missed winning that one by 1 point. And again, failure to me is always way more beneficial in my life than a victory, because it causes you to reassess and evaluate everything so critically, and it makes you so much better in my eyes if you can look at it positively. So I was pissed. I was like, I'm gonna come back to Super League 2 and win this undeniably. And I did.
There you go.
But yeah, I got into it just through a Facebook, an Instagram message. Just they were curious if I might want to compete, and here's what the details are. And talked to Jay and heard his vision, and it was just very exciting to be part of something new and test yourself in a different way.
Yeah, no, I mean, and plus you have a very unique look to you. You got great muscles, but you still got extremely feminine traits about you, which a lot of the women that put muscle on, sometimes they lose some of that. So kudos to you for being able to balance both of those, which is not easy to do as a women's female bodybuilder, physique competitor, however you want to call it.
Yeah. And
especially now that you're doing heavier lifting, you're still able to keep that. So just keep whatever you're doing. It's good. Keep it up.
Keep it up. I'm working with a coach named Bill Anger. He's based out of Rhode Island, and he's just been my rock in my corner for the past 2 years. Just making sure I'm smart about anything that I do in my life, whether it's diet, supplementation, and training. And then I have an awesome coach out here for powerlifting, Brandon Allen. I just have a great team in my corner. I have all the guys at Super League that are just really supportive. I am, talking about the IFBB and I see them as totally different sports. They truly are. No one is posing or doing routines or dieting down ridiculously for Super League. They're totally different sports, and it made me a little concerned as both an IFBB pro and a Super League pro, not getting compensated from either. So I'm not like, I don't have allegiance towards one. It's not a problem competing in both, right? And hearing kind of like rumors, yeah, you might lose your pro card in the IFBB if you continue competing in Super League. I was like, what? How is this possible? They're different sports, and I'm not getting paid by the IFBB, so I feel like they would have no ownership on me. I'm not getting paid to compete in Super League, so I'm not just there. I'm not getting paid in powerlifting. It's not like a football contract, right? Where
no, it shouldn't. It's almost as if you were a bodybuilder, and then you were doing, going into the CrossFit Games. It's not a competitor of it. It's not a federation with bodybuilding involved. So it shouldn't be, and hopefully in your case it won't be, because you're a perfect example of someone that's young enough and you got many great years ahead of you to still do both of these things.
Totally. Yeah, it just makes me, as an athlete and as a person, just concerns me. And I just hope when I decide to step back on the IFBB stage, I hope I'm either able to talk with someone from the IFBB and make sure that I'm groovy and good to go and won't get penalized for anything. And we'll come to that crossroads when we do. You worry about that later. But Super League has got some cool stuff going on. So I'm assuming that you're going to have a lot more Super League competitions coming up. They're adding more locations. Johnny Johnson in Houston is going to be, it's launching in this year, 2018. And so any plans on when is your next Super League event going to be that you're going to compete in? I'm not quite sure yet. I know I for sure have a powerlifting competition in Las Vegas, March 23rd. Okay. And I am not 100% sure if I will do a Super League prior to September, but there will be another massive event in September. I believe the same weekend as Olympia.
Good. Okay.
Where a lot of the champions from these different Super League events will all come together and battle it out. So
it's a year with a year under its belt. Obviously, that last year was cool because they had the gym competition and then U.S. Canada the next day. I was there. Didn't realize that we have a picture of you in the new magazine until we posted a pre-interview. But the new magazine, we have a Super League feature that I am proud that I had the chance to write. And also Jay Jung is a columnist for us in Muscle Sport magazine. So we have a lot of synergy with the Super League. So it's going to be cool that you and I did this interview. And I definitely want to talk to you afterwards about possibly some other stuff, but we'll talk about that's my little surprise for you, Kat.
So one more thing I have to drop on you is I don't know how into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency you personally are, but I know any Generation Zers that are out there are probably involved, right?
I'll have to ask my kids, right?
Exactly. If they're under 25, they probably are into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but Super League just created their own cryptocurrency called the Kilo. And it's going to the the ICO initial coin offering is March 1st. So all these athletes that just competed in Power Series, they were given compensation to compete. And so we'll see March 1st what that's going to look like, and trading in your kilo for fiat currency like the US dollar, what that equates to. So could be something really neat to keep your eye on in the future, competing in Super League or any kind of Power Series. If you actually make money that you can go out and buy things with, right?
That's the bottom line, right? You wanna have a purse involved, right? Like a boxing purse, a guy who wins, or as a case of a pro bodybuilding competitions, the first place wins a check of X, and then down through 1 through 5. So that's always a good incentive. And I know Jay was telling me they're gonna have an amateur feeder type of Super League that's gonna bring guys up to the level where you're at now, men and women. So it's got a lot of things. I love the whole brand ambassador thing, like Kai Green involved, George St. Pierre involved with the one in Montreal at Super League 3. I think things like that. Who?
Yeah. Mike O'Hearn.
Mike O'Hearn. Mike O'Hearn's a great fucking guy, man. That dog he has is goddamn gorgeous. I love that dog.
He's got 50 dogs.
The one he had at Olympia, the Husky. I mean, it's so beautiful. We were talking to him in the airport playing with the dog, and then I saw him at City Athletic. And definitely there's a lot of cool people. Stan Efferding involved. Unfortunately, Rich Piana, before he passed away, was doing things with Jay. And Jay was telling me that they did that. They did a donation in the name of Rich Piana for him through Super League after I think it was the next month after the Olympia event. So it's pretty cool that they're doing a lot of things with a lot of the people that are involved with sports and bodybuilding. And I think someone such as yourself could be a perfect poster woman for a Super League, because you have a lot of qualities. Look at that. See, look at that. You have a lot of great qualities, and plus being an IFBB pro is that's a huge plus. I think an advantage that you have, and it's I think the two leagues can work concurrently and then do things together where promoting each other's athletes would be an awesome way to do things, because it's not a competition.
Exactly. And so this is the way I see it. Like, if I'm having to diet down pretty lean to make weight for Super League, it makes perfect sense for me after a Super League event where I'm already in awesome conditioning, like within 5 or 10 pounds of what I would need to be shredded wise for a bodybuilding competition. I just go right from Super League to bodybuilding.
Yep.
Or you do a bodybuilding comp and then you transition out maybe 4 to 6 weeks, boom, Super League competition.
Exactly. Yeah.
They totally complement each other. And I think that's the neat thing. I hope both leagues are able to kind of see that. And maybe they're never going to work together, right? But at least they're kind of like, there's a harmony for the athletes. So athletes don't have to compete in fear or afraid.
Yeah, I mean, like Paulo Almeida is a perfect example. The freak, I mean, strong as a fucking ox. He had the unfortunate incident, the bicep injury at Super League 2. But he's had a nice, beginning to his IFBB pro career. Guy's only going to get bigger and better. And he was involved with Super League because he's strong and he could pull it off. So, I mean, I think a guy like him and a woman such as yourself are two prime examples of how you could have the best of both worlds if you choose to do that, and there shouldn't be anything holding you back from doing so. So I guess we'll find out as we go along. Hopefully, everything just, it's as if a guy who was playing professional baseball decided to do a bodybuilding competition. What's the difference? It's a sport. It has nothing to do with anything. So, we'll see what happens. But let's get some of your plugs out there. Your site is Kat Secor. It's KatSecor.com, and give out you do coaching and whatever else you want to plug. Please go ahead.
I am selective with who I take on, but I do online coaching. I'm really passionate about helping women who are between the ages of 40 to 60 find health, confidence, love for their bodies, and sustainable life change. That's like my big thing. I helped my mom lose 30 pounds and totally change her life at the age of 62. And she's done 2 bodybuilding competitions.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, shit.
My mom is amazing. But it really made me, I just get really excited helping people such as her, like, find this life again. And it's not the end of your life. It can be the beginning of your life. Like, my mom says she's in the best shape she's ever been in. And loving her life more than she ever has. So that's my passion. I do also help athletes. I do help contest prep athletes. Again, I'm kind of picky about who I take on.
Yeah.
And I pursue sport myself with vigor, and you can find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, Kat Secor or Catherine Secor. And I do a little bit on YouTube, but Super League's YouTube, I have been working on that. So you can check out Super League on YouTube and visit them there, kind of see some of the stuff I've been working on. And
very cool. That's very unique that you not just like most people that are involved in the industry, they do coaching services, but it's mostly contest prep, and it's not like you said, 40 to 60-year-old women. That's very different. So that's pretty cool. I gotta give it to you there on that one. It's very unique, and I'm sure that you may not have as many clients, but the ones that do, like you said, your mother's a perfect example. You could use her as the example of what you're capable of doing for someone that's not a young person that's going to go on a bikini or figure or a fitness stage. They're just trying to get healthier for themselves.
A lot of times competition, it's not that it ruins your mental state, but you can take a person who's never had a bad relationship with food, put them through contest prep, and all of a sudden they're struggling with eating disorder, binge eating, everything that goes along with it, body dysmorphia, and you compound that for the next 30 or 40 years unresolved, and then you get a 50, 60-year-old woman who now has no love for themselves, no stability in their life in terms of regular exercise or healthy relationship with food. And what are they going to do now? They have a whole rest of their life, half of their life ahead of them. How do you reverse that and get them to love life and find passion and have a healthy relationship with their husband or their kids or themselves?
Sure.
That's kind of the way I got it. And a lot of it stems from personal kind of evolution within myself, going through bodybuilding and having such a kind of unhealthy relationship with food almost exercise, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna have a bagel and just do like 50 hours of cardio and burn it off. Or the next I'm gonna eat only protein, whatever. And now I'm in such a good spot with food, with my relationship with food, and I want to share that with other people. It's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
It's about making sustainable life changes, working towards your goal, but finding off-scale victory as well as on-scale victory. I could blab your ear off about that.
But that's pretty cool, though, man. That's you bring personal experience into it, and you have a mindset where it's not just for the competitor. It's for everybody. You can do this type of stuff, and obviously nutrition's where it all starts. So, very interesting interview, Kat. I have to say, you did throw a few things at me that I was unaware of, and I thought were pretty cool. And I enjoy all my interviews, but I definitely enjoyed this one.
Better than I throw a ball.
I'm gonna help, so you can coach me on how to eat better, and I'll coach you how to throw a football or something. All right.
That sounds like an even stage.
Kat Secor, IFBB Pro and Super League Pro, and we'll be back right after this quick break.
Gotta stay straight focused too.
Hey guys, Officer Ashley Smith here, and I was going to chat with you today about my first experience going to the Arnold. First of all, I will never miss another one again. It was the most amazing, like, breathtaking experience ever. I've wanted to go for the last 2 years, so I finally was able to make it, and just the ambiance of it all. The drive there was hell. I ended up taking, it was supposed to take 5.5 hours. It ended up taking 11 hours because we hit this huge storm. We thought we'd be smart and leave the night before and drive overnight. Actually, we should have waited till the morning because we would have missed the storm. Instead, we drove into the storm, and they decided to shut down the highway between New York and Pennsylvania and direct you all the way around. So that was quite fun. Not really. It was absolutely terrible. But anyway, so we get there. So we're up from 8 in the morning. I had to work shift, then drove overnight, got there at 11 o'clock, worked all day, then stayed up all night. So we were up for a good 48 hours, but couldn't even feel it. I was too busy being hopped up on protein bars because I'm in the middle of prep, so I wasn't allowed to have any. But it was my, well, I should say it was my last day, my last weekend not being on prep. I was just about to enter prep Monday, and I was hopped up on protein bars and energy drinks and just completely overwhelmed by everything, and it was just amazing. It was amazing coming from, you know, working at the Steel Fit booth to working at Muscle Egg. Then I got to meet the fine gentleman, Joe, that runs this page. It was just really amazing. I got to meet a bunch of bodybuilders. I got to meet a bunch of people that follow me on Instagram, whether they were cops or whether they were fitness people. Like starting at just working the booth and having people coming up to meet me, and they knew me and I was an inspiration, and that was so amazing. And then meeting the owners of the companies. I went to Perfect Shaker as well. They were just really great. They were very welcoming. They had a lot of people that wanted to come and take pictures and know all about the products, and you know, it was good for us to be able to work finally together. So I had the most amazing experience, obviously, watching the show and all the bodybuilders that were there. They all did an amazing job. I will tell you, it's like going to a race. When I used to run a lot, going to a race and not participating was terrible. I was like, I cannot believe I'm not out there. I wish I was out there doing this. And going to that was the exact same way. I probably will go again and just always compete, because the feeling of being there and competing and being on that stage and being all hyped up, the only thing I kept thinking to myself is, why did I not diet down and compete? So, spoiler alert, I should hopefully be able to compete next year there if I get an invite. So that would be really, really cool. That would be definitely my goal. But going down to all the booths and seeing what everyone had, I got to try some things I've been wanting to, like Sinister, which I'm now a part of their company as well as an ambassador. I got to try the donut company. That was really great. They were on Shark Tank, so they've been quite busy, and I would have to say they were probably the busiest booth being there. What else? There was just it was so overwhelming. I didn't even get to spend all the time that I wanted to walking around and seeing the booths. It was super packed. Next year I will probably make sure that I get there really, really, really early and be waiting like in the front of the line to go to some of the booths that I want to, or at least stay late so I can go to some of the booths I want to. But other than that, it still was such an amazing experience. I mean, from the time that you get there to the time you leave, and then everyone goes out to dinner together, and it's like one big happy family no matter what company you're a part of. I just had an amazing, amazing experience, and I brought back not only samples, but a lot of memories, and I was super glad to be a part of it. So my plan is to go every single year. Hopefully I'll be competing though. So I thought anybody that is interested in going, you have to do it at least once so you can experience it, because it truly is an amazing experience. And the fire that gets lit under your butt after going there. We went to Powerhouse Gym. Everybody was there. It was super packed. LA Fitness was super packed. Just the ambiance and just the energy, and everyone's so excited and happy to be there. It is contagious, and it was truly, truly amazing. You will get a fire lit under your butt. You will get amazing motivation, and I promise you it's worth every penny, and you will not regret going. So that was my recap from it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the next big event I'll go to will be Olympia. I will not be competing there. Well, maybe one day, but I would like to go there and experience that competition as well. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and this is Officer Ashley Smith. Follow me on Instagram at Officer Ashley Smith. You can also visit my website, www.officerashleysmith.com. I have memorabilia there as well as personal training. And I'm on Snapchat, OFC Ashley Smith, Twitter, OFC Ashley Smith, and Facebook, Officer Ashley Smith. Thanks, guys.
Check it out, guys, right here, HotStuffNutritionals.com. The company you know and love from way back when. All you guys that are in my age group, and even some of you younger bucks, you guys know all about Hot Stuff right here. This is my personal favorite, the banana-flavored testosterone potentiator maximum strength formula right here. This is an amazing product right here. It's been around for a long time, and there's a reason why. But they don't fuck around over at Hot Stuff Nutritionals. They also have Glandol. Now, this is something a lot of you guys overlook. All the shit that everybody in this wacky fucking world and industry and lifestyle take, you got to take care of your glands. Flood your body with over 80 hormone boosting factors right here with Glandol from Hot Stuff Nutritionals. Maximum strength raw gland complex. Sports performance, increase power and strength, boost energy and endurance, and increase exercise muscle recovery. If you're not going to recover, you're not going to be able to hit it hard the next day. So make sure you go to HotStuffNutritionals.com right now and order both of these today. The nose knows that when he makes a prediction, sometimes they're right. Case in point, when the Aluminum Fag Labs and the Ironic Douche, and they were all copying pretty much everything that we were doing, trying to at least, and taking us people that we either did work for us at the time or in the past, and then they were kind of copying everything that we were doing. You know, with the Ask and the Iron Mag TV and Ask, you know, Greg and all of that stuff. It basically was it was obvious what they were doing. And I made a prediction, this was months ago, because we were starting to get back into our sports themes a little more. And we brought back a shitload of sports that started back when we first started Muscle Sport TV, and Greg and I actually co-hosted it. I said, how long before these guys put out some kind of sports programming? Now, Greg talks about sports once in a while on his show, and he always has. He knows sports. He's a big Yankee fan. I'm not talking about that. And Greg also is huge with the UFC. He knows a lot more about it than I do. I'll be the first to admit that. So when he was talking about Conor McGregor, to me, that was fine. But then Cease and Desist himself, the Ironic Douche, started talking about Conor McGregor. And then he even did it again and then started talking about the Yankees. So that's what I had to say. You know what? It's time for some kind of response, I guess, because I want to gloat a little bit because I said I was right. I'm right because they actually are trying to cover sports in some sense. It makes no sense. Cease and desist. Please cease and desist your sports talk because you are embarrassing yourself, to say the least. We'll start with the Conor McGregor stuff. Now, he was saying that there was brain damage to one of the complainant witnesses in the Conor McGregor Barclays incident. You know, fucking throwing the hand truck and the shit at the bus and all of that. I don't need to fucking go into it like he did and explain it blow for blow. You all kind of seen it 100 times already out there. But instead of just listening to bullshit or creating my own fake news like he's good at doing, I decided to look at the court complaints themselves, the police reports, and the actual video of the arraignment for Conor and also the other guy, Cowley, who looks a lot like him, but he's taller. The complainant witnesses, and you should know this, fucking, immigration lawyer, the actual victims of this crime were treated and released from Methodist Hospital with just basically cuts and bruises. One guy got a couple of shards of glass in his eye, and he has a scratched cornea, and he didn't realize that until hours after he left the fucking hospital. So it had to be really, small pieces. Doesn't mean that it still can't fuck you up, but brain damage. I know who has fucking brain damage. It isn't anybody that McGregor was throwing the hand truck at. These were fucking minor injuries. He was charged with misdemeanor assault. The only felonies thrown at him was for criminal mischief because of the amount of the fucking money damaged to the fucking bus and shit like that. Criminal mischief, if you fucking damage anything over $250 worth, it's a fucking felony. A bus window, 2 of them I think they fucked up. Obviously, it's going to push up into the felony category. His career is far from over. Dana White may suspend him for a little while, and Greg said it's a fucking ingenious thing because he's going to come back and make more money, and I agree with you, Greg. Obviously, and not everyone that works for that company I see in agreement with. So, June 14th, they're back in court for another date. We'll see what happens then. They were released. He paid $50,000 fucking bond, and his buddy fucking paid $25,000. They did not get their passports fucking taken. Brain damage. Okay. Now on to the Yankees. He says the Yankees suck. They're playing terrible this year. Well, I guess when you have a fucking team like the Yankees signed, 6-6 probably isn't what you expected, but far from sucks. But I got messages and news for you. The Yankees are historically a slow starting team, and I'm sure if you ask Greg, he would tell you that. Let's look back. In 1996, the start of their dynasty, they won the World Series that year. They won 92 games. They started off 13-10. They won the World Series, though. In 2001, they were 14-12. They lost the World Series to the Diamondbacks. Well, I guess we'll just go up the ladder. I had, some other seasons that jumped out at me. They finished in first place again in 2005 with 90 wins. They were 10-14 in that first month of April, the month that means so much in the fucking never-ending regular season in baseball. 2006, they won again, first place, the Division AL East, 95 wins, 13-10. Not great numbers in April. 2007, 97 wins, 9-14. 2008, 14-15, they had 89 wins. 2009, they won the World Series again, 12-10 in April. Wild card, 95 wins in 2010. 15-7 in April. All right, that's not too bad. 2011, 15-9. They won the division with 97 wins. 2012, 13-9, 95 wins, first place. 2013, 16-10, 85 wins. 2014, 84 wins, 15-11. 2015, they were in a wild card with 87 wins. They were only 13-9. In 2016, they were 84-78. They made the wild card. Guess fucking what? 8-14 in the fucking month of April. 2017, they were 91 wins last year. They won the wild card, one of the wild card teams, and they won the wild card. They were 15-8 in April. So if you go back into the recent history, even starting in I didn't even go back to 1952, which they had a shitty April also, and they played the fucking, in the World Series. All right. I think you get my point. The New York Yankees are historically a slow starting team, and a lot of teams that play in the Northeast and have home games with each other, like the Yankees are at home, then they played at Boston, now they're playing. The weather's shitty. Pitchers aren't fucking ready to stretch them out longer innings. A lot of times teams have slow starts that play in cold weather. Yeah, I know the Yankees played in Tampa, and it's Florida, and it's a dome. I know that. And yes, the Yankees, they've always started a lot of times, especially during that dynasty time, they started out west. It always seemed like they went 0-3 in Oakland to start the season. And Oakland was good back then, not like they are now. They're terrible now. But the Yankees are not, they don't come out of the fucking gate fucking strong. They never have. So for someone that knows nothing about sports to say a 6-6 team sucks, I think I have you beat in the sports category. I bodybuilding as well, but I won't even bother with that because you cover a different aspect of it. You like to suck fellatio fucking penis and go to shows and shit, and I like to talk about female bodybuilding porn. It's different parts of the fucking industry that we cover. But when it comes to sports, I think I have the upper hand by a wee bit. So let me say right now, not only do the Yankees do not suck, but if you watched A Shitload of Sports previews, I picked the Yankees to win the division over Boston. Boston was going to be the wild card, and the Yankees were going to defeat the Washington Nationals in the World Series in 2018. So 6-6 they may be, but hardly suck. You know what the word suck means. Keep at it, pal. You're doing great.
What's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and you are watching Muscle Sport TV.
Thanks so much for watching. I also want to thank Kat for joining us and for telling us her great story. This issue, guys, let me tell you something. Come on now. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? $32 a year, free shipping in the U.S. You can also get single issues, single copies on our store page, musclesportmag.com/store. But why not subscribe and get 4 in a row? And I pay for the fucking postage. We'll see you guys next week.